So, John, it was a 3-1 victory here today, but that's not the biggest picture. What did you see out there that what was pleasing for you?
Just seeing the lads back out on the grass again. You know, it's what's that for the first teamers anyway. The second game in the last week, Aberystwyth last week, 45 minutes, and then 45 minutes for the majority today. So it was just the way we said to the players is it's just an extension of training at the minute. You know, can we start to see things on the pitch that we're doing training against opposition that are trying to stop you essentially. And we saw loads of that. You know, the first half we probably had 3 or 4 cleared off the line with the post, and then the second half I think with the changes that we made and maybe the opposition tiring a little bit somewhat until they made some changes. Our fresh lads in the second half sort of pulled them back a little bit and created a little bit more. But I actually thought as the game wore on, the last 30 minutes gave a little bit more end to end, and you know they could have added 1 or 2 themselves. So I thought it was a really entertaining game for what it is. But ultimately, it's a pre-season game. You want to get through it. No injuries, no knocks, no niggles, but also getting the mileage up. You know, inside the legs. We have targets that we try and hit in terms of distances and high speed running and things like that. So we'll have a look at that later, and hopefully we've hit them.
In terms of that kind of factor, to the naked eye, did you see that from the 20 odd players that you used today?
In abundance, absolutely. Yeah, we were dead happy with it. The one thing you don't want to do is waste time in pre-season. You don't want to play games and go, what was the point of that? What did we get out of it? You know, what were we? What were the opposition? How did we stop them? How did they stop us? Do we put them into areas of the pitch that made it difficult for the opposition? And yeah, 100%. You know, there were moments in the game where we played in a way that we played last season, and probably the bits that we try and add to it as well. You could see, and the stuff we've worked on, obviously, which you guys and the fans don't get to see, but that, you know, we saw 1 or 2 signs of that as well. But it was a tough game. You know, they were a good side, aren't they? You know, it was on a decent surface. The fact that it rained helped, I think, got the pitch zipping about. And we got everything we wanted out of it.
In terms of the elements that obviously that we don't see, you see in week out. Did you see even the smaller factors of it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're looking at isolating players in certain areas of the pitch, creating overloads to then get the switch on, which we saw probably 3 or 4 times in the first half. Second half, we were a little bit more fluid, where players moved about a little bit more. So we didn't probably see that as much. But although we got more joy in the second half, probably saw more in terms of the stuff we worked in the first half, because they were sat in deep areas, sort of trying to soak up what we were doing. So it was about moving the ball, quick, clever play around the box, and moving them about. We saw loads of that.
And then obviously looking ahead to the next pre-season games, any thoughts in prior to those?
Again, you know, it won't be until probably we get back from the Isle of Man, with the games against the likes of Halifax, Fylde, Oldham, where we start to really think about what it's going to look like in 4 weeks' time. 4 weeks is a long time. You know, we're still a month away from the season starting when we play Scarborough, 4 weeks today. So we've got a game against Rammy on Tuesday, which will be again another mixed group. Then we've got 2 games in 2 days at the Isle of Man, so we'll use a squad. And we'll use next weekend more as a team bonding with the supporters. You know, plenty of games of football to watch while we're there. So we use it for that, but also having an eye on the fact that we've got 2 games, and we'll have to use the squad sort of wisely so that people aren't getting too many minutes. But we just look forward to each game. As I said, the real stuff doesn't start for another 4 weeks, but we're building towards it.